Okay, is it going? All right, sorry about that. I'm trying to shoot like several videos at one time. Hi Marie Junkies, how are you? I wanted to talk to you about something that has been really weighing on my mind lately, and I think many of you perhaps can relate to me. If not, maybe this video isn't for you. But I wanted to talk about relationships and how trust plays into the factor of a relationship, and also communication. And so I'm going to give you a little example. Now, when I go and say this, yes, I'm basically telling on myself, because we all know that even though you find your soulmate and that person that resonates with you and that you couldn't live without and everything, you still go through moments of like little things sometimes that trigger past relationships, or perhaps there's this little nugget of something that you haven't kind of like threshed out. Threshed, is that the word, you guys? Threshed. Anyway, I don't know what the correct word is, but this just occurred to me yesterday. So you know how like I was talking to you guys about that video before about how and I can't remember what the video was, but it was about basically if you don't resolve all of your personal things that you've had in your relationship with your partner, whatever, like say for instance, my relationship with Mitch, that if you don't get those things taken care of, or not like wrestle them to the ground to kill them, because we know that doesn't work as far as law of attraction goes, because if the more you focus on something and it's still in your vibration, you're going to keep leaving off where you left off with that particular emotion. And so basically that's what I wanted to talk to you about, is that I realized yesterday, like I have had some trigger moments, and I didn't realize that I still had these moments of feeling insecure until like there was certain things that triggered me. And I think the most important thing to remember here, you guys, is that when you're when you're trying to work through certain things with your soulmate or your significant other, or any relationship, to be quite honest, that it really does come back to us, and that we have to figure out why it's triggering us, and we have to figure out how to make ourselves happy without needing the condition of our mate to change their behavior to fit, to make us, look at my little bow sticking up, but to make ourselves feel better. Because that's most of the time what people do is like say something. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. That Mitch and I's relationship, when his infidelity first started, it was basically on social media. And so I remember, for one thing, I didn't trust at that point anyway, because remember I had talked to you guys about trusting and stuff. But then when I started to get like psychotic, because I started realizing like I became an investigator. I swear you could become the best PI investigator, private investigator ever, when there's infidelity and distrust and everything. And so I would hack into Mitch's accounts and stuff when I would find these things and realize like he had secret accounts and all of this kind of stuff. And like there was tons of flirting going on and instant messaging and all this kind of stuff. Well, now Jeffrey and Mitch are not at all alike in any manner. But what I realized last night is something that triggered me, and I went freaking ballistic because of what actually happened. And it wasn't any fault of Jeffrey's. It was me not being able to handle it. Like I went off the rails with like becoming crazy. And here's the thing, is I'm not really crazy, and no one that ever gets upset or anything because something triggers you, do not feel bad for being upset or angry, because you're never going, how like I've heard people say, you're going way beyond what you should do. You're being out of control. You're being overly dramatic. Have you ever had somebody tell you that? Like you're being overly dramatic. Well, you know what? You're never being overly dramatic for what is happening to you in your life. And I'll tell you why. Because I did not realize that I still had these little things that I need to flesh out about feeling insecure. And it's just a matter of me continuing to focus on trust within myself, within Raquel, so that you become almost, your feelings become almost unhurtable. Well, what happened was and even Jeffrey told me, he's like, I commented on this post and I think I went a little bit overboard. And I just wanted to share that with you, and I apologize or whatever. But see, what happened was when I realized he did that, all of that crap started flooding back from like, you start freaking out thinking, because it's a symptom of something that's unresolved within your own spirit, not your own spirit, but your own inner being. And I realized that momentum that you get going on it, and it's like, you know what, and that's the other thing I'm going to say, you guys, when you see something happening or occurring in your relationship, or you have a little disagreement or something's going on, don't try to wrestle it down and kill it, because you're never going to get to the bottom of it. Like, well, I just need to get to the bottom of this, and I got to figure out, and you're going to hear it from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't resolve an issue at the same time that you're having a problem. So you got to remember, the best thing to do probably is go to sleep so that the momentum stops, because if not, you will become a fruitcake. And I'm only saying that because this is what I've had to train myself to do, is like, okay, just minimize it. This isn't about Jeffrey's behavior. This is about me being able to maintain my own inner guidance system within myself, and not needing Jeffrey to change a condition that he has, or that our mates do, in order for us to feel good. Because once again, we're relying on the conditions of other people. Like, you do this so that Raquel can be happy. You do that so that Raquel can be happy. Because it's not Jeffrey's job to make me happy all the time. It's not Jeffrey's job. And even though sometimes we want to go, but so what are you saying, Raquel, that they can just do whatever they want? No, but the fact of the matter is that I know Jeffrey's not anything like Mitch. But in my subconscious, that's still something that I'm trying to work through, because I wanted the conditions of Mitch to change. Like, I didn't want somebody that, that hid things from me and everything. And Jeffrey did exactly what I have been needing him to do, always, to continually help me to work through this process of grief and healing, which is that distrust. And I know that he's working on it, and he's so good about it. And so just remember to be patient with yourself, and it's not the end of the world. And just remember that basically what jealousy is, because basically that's what it was, is I was jealous that Jeffrey had made a comment to someone else that I, for God's sake, wasn't his object of attention in that particular moment, that he took his attention off of me, and I felt insecure. And so we have to get to the point to where we can be secure, and like I said, our feelings are unhurtable, that whatever someone does to us, we have enough inner love, self-love, that's not predicated upon how people are behaving and the conditions that are placed before us. And I hope this made sense. I don't know if it made sense, but, there's certain things that you're like, you know what, I can accept this. This is kind of this is a deal breaker. Jeffrey, this is a deal breaker. Raquel, this is a deal breaker for me. And, you learn all those beautiful things from different relationships that you have. And then when you collectively come together, it's so important that communication is involved, because that's basically what it is. It's a miscommunication when you can't express to your partner that, like, this isn't about you. I get that, Jeffrey. It's not about you. This is about me and how I'm still working through these distrust issues. And so please be patient with me. I apologize. I didn't mean to fly off the handle and get upset with him. And anyway, I don't know. Maybe this sounds horrible. I just want you guys in my life and to understand, crap is always happening. You're never going to have a perfect relationship just because you find your soulmate. There's always going to be these things that are you're working them out, and it's helping us to become and expand, to become our best self. And so I think that it's important that I share these little things with you, because if you can't feel like you can, listen to someone, or express things. You know, everything's just not always hunky-dory. Everything's just not roses and peachy keen. You know, I mean, how can you relate to anyone? Because that's the one problem, is that everybody thinks like, you don't want to like air your dirty laundry. I understand that. And this is more of a teaching mechanism for me. And I hope that you guys are receiving that in that way to become your greatest version of yourself, instead of me bashing whoever or whoever's in the line of fire. I don't mean it that way at all. I just mean it as a way for, this is basically my therapy, and it's helping me to work through crap that I thought that I had resolved. And perhaps, you know, when we have these contrasting moments in our life come up, that we're going, okay, Raquel, this is where you're at. It's okay. You're still not there, and that's okay. You know, you're going to get there, and it's going to be fine. And so if I can leave that with you for this weekend, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. It's about to storm here, but I'm excited because I want to find like a really cool, yummy movie to watch with Jeffrey. And I hope this serves you. And as always, I'm yours until my next swim. Ciao.